What it do? What it do?
Orderly.
Yo, man, I got locked in watching that show, All American on Netflix. So good, so good.
Which one?
Called All American.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's like,
meanwhile, I was watching football today. You see it today?
heck no, I don't got cable. I was
Okay.
I was asleep, then woke up with no furnace. Had to call a furnace man. Furnace man came, and what it ended up being was my thermostat that I had on the wall because I upgraded to one of those Google ones, and that was a
hmm
problem. So after he put the old one back on, everything's fine. So needless to say, sometimes trying to be all high tech and fancy and all this extra stuff, sometimes it's better just stick with the basics.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. That's pretty much how I live my life, man. I'm very vanilla. I'm very basic.
So I learned a lot from that lesson, not only by financial setback, but on a life lesson. And after that, I had a group meeting with some fellows from church, which ended up being like a 3 hours long, which was it was real good. I mean, we got to know each other a lot better and seeing that we're much more alike than what we thought. So, but in the meantime, and what's going on right now, you know what time it is, right?
Um, no, I have no idea. Why don't you tell me?
Oh, it's it's 1:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The time for Keeping It Real Big Boy Live podcast with your boy Professor X, bringing it to you live, real and uncut. Let's get it.
I love it.
Man,
Absolutely love it.
what the
But
heck happened today in football, man?
well, I got you. I'll catch you up on what happened.
Oh, I see the NFL scores,
Well,
but
I
dang.
feel I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad doing this podcast without Hollywood, seeing as how we had that epic podcast, with our picks.
Why should be
Um,
so bad for it? He's out. He's a
right
Packer
now,
fan.
he definitely out. But then again, so am I. And then again, you didn't even catch a glimpse of the playoffs. So uh,
I heard,
we
I
all
heard
screwed.
the best series of playoffs. I heard the best
But
series of playoffs in a long time.
bro, I'm
From
going to tell you something.
from Facebook
Um,
news.
I'm going to tell you something, man. You know, with these playoffs and watching everything and going through it the way that I have, like, I picked Cincinnati. I picked them to beat Tennessee. Um, I picked the Rams to beat the Bucks, even though I kind of thought the Bucks would prevail. If you did not see that game today, bro, 30-27, it was an epic game that looked like it was going to be a crap show, and it was for damn near for damn near 3 quarters. Like the Rams just beat the ever loving crap out of the Bucks. And then in the fourth quarter, holy hell, it was tied. I think with like 25, 20 seconds left on the clock, and Rams got the ball back, and man, they managed to get down into field goal range. 4 seconds left on the clock. Kicker kicked the field goal, and they're moving on, and they're going to play San Francisco. And I'm sitting here going, well, what the hell? You got a San Francisco and the Rams, and you have Cincinnati and Kansas City Chiefs. Again, I encourage you tomorrow to wake up early enough to just watch the highlights of the Chiefs-Bills game.
Man, I
it
heard that
sucks.
game was epic.
Bro, it sucks so bad. I cannot describe how sad I am for Buffalo Bill fans right now because their quarterback did not do a damn thing wrong. He did nothing but continue to answer and march, and it was not his fault that his defense did not show up and help him out any at all. And good God, it was an offensive matchup for the ages. 36-36 going into overtime. And Patrick Mahomes with an 8-yard pass to Travis Kelce. Game, set, match, bro. Like it was sweet. I got to give it to my homeboy. I got to. Came back again, delivered another amazing performance. Chiefs have had doubters and naysayers all year, and once again, here they are in the AFC Championship. And I'll tell you right now, as much as I love the Bengals, as much as I want them to win, they ain't no way in hell they're beating the Chiefs. None. And the Rams are probably going to obliterate the 49ers. So we're probably going to get the Chiefs and the Rams in the Super Bowl. However, I started watching this documentary series tonight of all nights while I was doing my laundry earlier about Joe Montana. And the last episode that I left off on, it's on Peacock. And the last episode I left off on was the 49ers and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. And I'm kind of laughing because the 49ers and the Bengals are in the championship games. Would that not be ironic if that was the two teams playing for the championship? You there? What happened?
All right. I don't know. Don't know what sure happened there, but what you ended off on was talking about the series, that documentary you watched.
Oh yeah, I was watching a doc night while I was doing my laundry, and it was over Joe Montana and the 49ers, and just about Joe Cool and his journey from from high school up to Notre Dame up to San Francisco, and I was sitting there watching it, and I grew up watching Joe Montana. Like I love the man. But I remember first Super Bowl of my life that I remember was the Bengals playing against the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I just saw that, and then of course, with today's events, playoffs, everything like that, the Bengals are going to play the Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC Championship, and you have the Rams, and you have the 49ers for the NFC Championship. And I was just sitting there going, holy crap. Like, I know it's probably unlikely because there are two really dominant teams left. Chiefs, Rams will be an epic Super Bowl, one for the ages. But good God, if it happens to be the Bengals and the Niners, I won't be mad.
Right. Like I said, it's gonna be like I said, like I was telling somebody, it was this is this year, and football has been very, very different.
Yeah, dude, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to watch this year, man. It's for lack of a better term, it's been off the chain.
Right. That's
But
good.
but what's going on with you, man? Anything new in your life?
Not really. It's the same old stuff, but it's a different pleasure, flavor. But yeah, nothing really different. Just just trying to get through some things and kind of make the best of it the best way I can.
You spoke to the chef lately?
Yeah, he messaged me yesterday actually, and he told me that that one of the techs at NAL had a stroke and was in the hospital. So one thing to do is keep
And prayers?
as for Tony.
Okay.
So, but other than that, that's really about it. We need to get our section in with the chef, of course, and then of course we need to start working on this upcoming cooking show. Get that bad boy going.
So right now, I think we should take a pause for our first commercial break. Why don't you reach out and see if our Swedish chef is still up and wanting to join the cast tonight?
Oh,
Are you hit me up, my brother?
brother, I will do.
Love you, man.
Love you too. I send the invite anyway, just in case.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So guess what I made last night? Guess what marinade I made last night?
Uh-oh.
You're gonna love this. I took a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce,
Oh.
some ranch seasoning, melted butter, some brown sugar, a little bit of honey,
Ooh.
and some lemon pepper, bro. And I made the most beautiful marinade I think I may have ever made in my life.
Oh, for real?
Bro, that chicken was on fire.
Was it on fire to the point where you had to call the fire department?
Yeah. It was so hot as far as good tasting goes. I needed the fire department to put me out.
Well, it kind of reminds me of a little song. You ready? Someone please call 911. Jake is cooking up some food. Ooh, smell, taste it. Ooh. Oh, I'm done.
You're a clown, bro.
Well, man. But so I'm gonna ask you a question, man. No, Professor X. Not Professor X. Golly, yeah, you're Professor X. Whoa! Wow! I'm a brain teaser, dude.
What?
Oh my goodness, man. So what I was gonna say is, you can set the topic theme for tonight.
Oh,
Yes, we usually never go, what do you want to talk about? Let's try something a little different.
I just want to talk about general conversation. That's what I enjoy the most about our podcast, man. We're just so real. Whatever pops into our head, we can start a 10, 15, 20-minute conversation over. And I love it. So, with that being said, it's the reason why I let off with sports the way that I did, again, not trying to cancel Hollywood out, nothing like that. But this was me and you first. This was you first, and you brought me on board, and you and I have formed a radio bond and a friendship bond over this, and people have picked up on it, and we now have 2 solid guests that we have on the show, and we've only been doing this for 60 days, and that's
right.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a testament to the realness between you and I appreciate you for giving me that platform, man.
Hey, man, it's not nothing. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. I mean, it's nothing wrong with having a place to where you can let loose and talk about things and not get no how can I say, get no criticism for what you believe in or how you feel about something. Because like anything else, we're in a world that everybody wants to criticize everybody about every single little thing, but don't want to look at their own issues too. So
right, and I agree with that. But also, one of the things that I love the most about the show is that even when we disagree with one another, we still love each other and we respect each other's opinion enough to allow ourselves to be checked by the other one on things that, sometimes we are uneducated on.
right.
Sometimes opinions that are too right wing or too left wing. It just allows for a measure of realness that, a lot of times isn't held, standard, I guess.
Right. Well, that's always good, man. It's always good to have somebody that you can hold some accountability, and that's the problem. Is a lot of people don't have somebody to, hold themselves accountable for things. Everybody wants to try to just pass it off as being, it'd be all right, it'd be all right. So sometimes it's good to have that person to hold you accountable and tell you about yourself when you need to. It's kind of funny though, when I was watching that show I'm watching, All American, and one of the situations was on there that the kid was talking to a sports therapist, and he was medically cleared to play football and everything. Everything was medical clear for him to play, but every now and then he will have these little issues to where his arm will go numb. But even though it medically clear, but the therapist said there's something going on mentally that's bringing you trauma, causing your arm to go numb. So his assignment was, I want you to write down what it is you think that about the whole situation that happened. And when you do that, sometimes that narrative therapy can be the best thing you can do to help you find your answer. So he did it, and he came up with his answer that sometimes, and the person that he was trying to protect all this time, this and that, was the reason why it is causing him to have these mental breaks to where it's causing his hand to go numb. And then the therapist is like saying, and the one thing the therapist said we know what we need to say or what we need to do, but we're so afraid to hurt the other person to tell them the truth. But technically, when you don't tell them the truth, you're actually hurting yourself more by keeping it in.
But yeah, I mean, you say that, you list that, but is that not, typical relationship one-on-one, what you do for the person that you love?
Yeah.
You protect them from the truth. You protect
Even
them.
though they can hurt you in a
Yeah,
way.
I mean, you protect them from the truth. You protect them from your true feelings, like shit that you may have a problem with. You try to bear. Just because that person makes you feel so good in the moment.
Hmm.
Shit that is it's not something that you can just ignore. It's things that's real life to you, man. Like it's part of your core makeup. It's part of who you are. These are things that if a person wants to be with you, they have to be able to accept and acknowledge of you and in you. And it's like, God, all we do is make excuses. Why? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? Why can't I accept you for this? Well, why can't you accept me for that? But, the truth of everything is that if we really wanted it, it would happen. The ultimate finale in any type of relationship is it's either going to work or it's not.
Right.
It's really just that simple. I feel like a broken record. I've said that so many times on our podcast. But it really is the truth. As
Right.
cliche as it sounds, it's either going to work or it isn't.
Mhm.
But oftentimes we just try to fix everything, change everything, make everything to go to our own agenda.
Right.
And that's not how it works. And the reason that it doesn't work that way is because of what?
As of us.
Yep. Lack of commitment. That big total C word is the one word that all humans fear.
Yeah. That is true.
But why? Why do we fear commitment so much? I pose the question to you. Is it because it makes us hold ourselves to a higher standard than what we would normally hold ourselves to if we were single? Or is it because we actually want to grow with this person, change as an individual, and improve?
Well, I think what the answer to that question is, it's like like a perfect example. I think, in my opinion, it's like the stock market, right? It's called FOMO. Okay, it's fear of missing out. Well, a lot of people are so afraid to commit because they're afraid that they're going to miss something with someone else or something, or you know what I'm saying? Because you're afraid to share the attention. And what I mean by that is you get afraid for it, that you got to share the attention that you would normally give to your own self with someone else. So it's that fear, even though it may not be a fear, but it's a fear. So I think a lot of times it's FOMO, fear of missing out.
Right.
And then sometimes you just have to come grips to yourself and realize that that's what it is. And then think about, what is it I'm being scared of? What is it I'm thinking I'm gonna miss? And like I said, sometimes it may be best just to write the stuff down, to where when you're writing it down, you see it visually, and you're mentally putting what that problem is on paper. So So maybe that's what it could be. You know, that FOMO.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that makes total sense. It really does. But, you know, what are we to do?
Right. And I'm honestly, you know, Jake, I'm honestly going through that myself. I'm I'm going through that myself with a situation, and then a friend of mine told me that you truly love this person, you really do, and you need to be honest with that person about how you feel and tell them. And I think,
So hard. It's so hard.
yeah, and I want to so bad to tell this person how I really feel about them, and that I feel like, I can't think of, I feel like I can't, I feel like the only thing I think of is I think about them all the time, and then, all that stuff. But it's like, I feel like I had the FOMO that I'm miss out on something else, or is this what, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because I know if I tell this person like how I feel about them, which is a previous relationship I had, I know everything's going to change. I mean, everything's going to change, and I guess I'm scared to. Go to that point. But then again, that's maybe what I need. So that's what I'm getting at right there. So,
Well, um, all I'm going to say to that is, if you feel like you found someone that you can take a chance on and do that again, you would be doing a disservice to yourself to deny that to yourself. Um, all you have to do going into any type of situation moving forward for the rest of your life is realize the worst they can do is say no. And
right.
once you accept the worst they can do is say no, you will allow yourself to get out of your your own damn way for a minute and kind of expand and broaden your own way of thinking. Worst they can do is say no. Okay, what happens if they say yes? Well, if they say yes, then you've got all of a sudden 3 options or 3 paths that you can go down. If they say no, there's only one option you can go down.
Right.
All right, fuck it. It didn't work. I'm going to go on and be by myself. It's not time for me to be with anybody. It's not time for me to date, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just going to do me. Because apparently at this stage in my life, what I need to do is me.
Right.
That's it. That's it, man. So take the leap of faith. Tell her how you feel. Worst she can do is say no. And if she does, brother, it ain't the end of the world.
Oh, right. And I understand that. And I think a lot of this too is, and that's another problem, is that you sit there and you worry about what someone else is going to say about your decision, if they're going to support you or not. And then you got to think about this, like, who are you living for? Are you living for someone else, or are you living for yourself?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but you're right. But at the same time, you also need to do this. Oh, what's everybody going to think? Well, you know what? Fuck everybody else. Everybody else's opinions are just that, man. They're opinions. They don't dictate your happiness.
And but and I completely understand that. But the person that I'm worried about that too is the person that I really truly care about the most. That's been there for me all my life.
You talking about your mama?
Huh?
You talking about your mama?
No.
Oh shit. Wait,
I mean,
what?
I truly care about my mom. No, I'm talking about my father.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, you know what? How were you raised? Were you raised to be closed minded? Were you raised to be a bigot? Were you raised to um, hate all white people because of your skin color? Or were you raised to be open minded, accepting? And if you want someone to love you and accept you for who you are, you have to do the same thing for them in return. I, I know how you were raised. It was exactly like I just said.
right,
So knowing that, though, knowing that, what's the worst your dad's going to say? Same as what she would say. No. The difference being is your dad, and he's had your back for a little while now, right?
right,
Okay. So that's the advice and that's the counsel that you want to seek and cling to in that situation. It'd be different, if it was, a different situation where, you had a deadbeat or he wasn't around or, whatever else. Um, then I would say, well, trust your gut. But my advice, man, dude, just do you, man. Just give it a chance. Give it a chance. I tell you right now, all your dad wants is for you to be happy.
right. And I get that, and the other thing that I look at too is this person I care about, and I'm gonna say it. I mean, I love her. It's the distance. So she's 4 hours away,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and
sometimes,
that's
sometimes, sometimes when the heart has been broken enough, the safest relationship that it can be in is the one that seems the most impossible because of time, space, and or distance.
right.
She's safe. Bro, I'm kind of in the same situation myself. I cannot physically be with anybody. Can't. I just can't do it. It's still too new for me. It
Mm,
still doesn't feel right. But I can express all those feelings and I can have all the conversations and I can do whatever it is I need to do with the person that is, for me, 6 hours away. So I
right.
get it. I do get it. But before anything else happens, man, you have to make sure that you're ready. You have to make sure that you're right because the only person that you're going to hurt in the long run is yourself
Right.
if you jump into it too quickly.
Exactly right.
And I just want you to be happy. You deserve it.
And thing about it though, man, it's like this girl, man. I mean, we dated a long time ago, back when back in the day, and two of her kids, I kind of raised, for the first part of their lives. And to this day, I still communicate with my daughter. And I call her my daughter, even though she's not my blood, but I still call her my daughter. And I miss her and I care about her, and I just wish things was different because I miss so much of your life, And my thing is like, if I go into this, and remember I said earlier that a lot of things will change. And one of the big things that would change is my living arrangement. As far as not saying like, oh, this person may move away, move here tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But in the future, that's something I'm going to have to think about. Because now it won't be just me and her. I mean, me and her and 3 kids.
Right.
So, and I live in a 2-bedroom house. But that's not big enough, dude.
But here's the thing, man. Like, and this is what you got to realize. You know, if you wanna actually get involved with somebody like that, if you want to make a commitment on that level, if you cannot love those babies as much as you love the mom, don't waste our time. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Do not waste our time. Because I'm telling you right now, the hardest thing in the world for people who have kids who are in their mid to early, I'm going to say between 35 and 50 range, who have children, is very hard to be with somebody that does not have kids, that cannot understand where they're coming from, that cannot relate, that cannot do this and cannot do that. If you are unwilling to give and sacrifice to yourself, do not waste any more of her time. So that's something.
You know the thing about it, though, Jake, is I do love them kids.
Yeah.
I love them to the point that I would adopt them.
Well, that's a whole other topic, big boy. And we will dive into that after this commercial break from our sponsors. Terra Jersey Photography, capturing your moments, making them last a lifetime.
That's right, everybody. Thank you for listening into the podcast. This is your boy, Big Boy. This podcast is brought to you and sponsored by Terra Jersey Enterprise. Terra Jersey Enterprise will hook you up with some custom shirts. Also, Terra Jersey Photography, capturing your moments of today to make them last for a lifetime. But like I said, this podcast is brought to you by Terra Jersey Enterprise.
Back from that commercial break, I had to, give me something to drink. A little bit apple cider. Hi, how you doing, Professor X?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing, big boy alive?
I'm doing much better. I had a little bit of counsel during that commercial break when the sponsors were out there, doing their thug dizzle. I feel a lot better, so I'm good.
That's good. That's good. Sometimes really harsh words, really blunt truth can serve a really big, really deep purpose at times.
Right.
When it's not necessarily seen, wanted, or needed. But yeah, I get you. I'm happy to hear that.
But yeah, man, like what you're talking about, bro. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, you're right. But it's like I said, it's still hard. It's still hard sometimes to, not let yourself get misused or taken advantage of.
Well, who is the hardest person to forgive? Is it somebody who did you wrong, or is it yourself?
Yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's truth, man. It really is. It's the absolute total truth.
Well, it's just like they say, like you're your own worst enemy. I mean, you can be your own cheerleader or your own worst enemy. So.
Right. And most of the time, why is it that we choose to be our own worst enemy? Tell me about that.
Because we tend to take things harder on ourselves than it is to just oh man, that's a tough one, dude. We tend to beat ourselves up worse.
Well, I agree with that. My only interjection at that point is when we are with a party for so long who tells us that we are the ones at fault, eventually we begin to accept it as truth. And that is part of the reason why we believe some of the falsified lies and falsehoods that are presented before us.
Well, it's so funny you say that because it's so true. Because like at church, we had a little get together with the band, and the associate pastor is telling us like the devil will do anything he can to keep us from succeeding or keep us from doing what our purpose is. And then he made the example. He said, just like how mountain climbers, and they'd be out there climbing a mountain, and they're always looking for something like some small crevice or a crack just to keep on climbing. And he was like, that's kind of like how it is. I mean, you sit there and the devil will try to find the little cracks inside your life to make you feel like you're not wanted, or you're not this, or you're not that. So
Yep.
lots of mind games. That's what it is. I mean, it's a lot about those mind games. I mean, so but that's why our mind's a very powerful tool.
Yeah, you're right. It is. I mean, who can tell us no quicker than the devil, so to speak? Mm-hmm. Ourselves. It's ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Who can talk us out of a decision that we have decided on? Ourselves. No, I'm not doing this tonight. I have to do this and this and this and this and that tomorrow. And then what do? We compromise. Mm-hmm. We find a loophole. We sit there and say, all right, I'll only do X amount of this because of this, and that I have to do tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, that's not okay, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
And I think this might be the most real moment we've ever had on the show. So I just want to know, why is it so much easier to lie than it is to tell the truth?
Because you feel like it gives us more time to figure out how to tell the truth. And it makes things, we think that makes it easier. And when you get so involved with constantly lying about something or something, you get accustomed to it. And it's so hard for you to get out of that. But a lot of times we lie just so we can have more time to fix the lie.
I can see that. I really can. But the problem is, it doesn't really answer the question. Why is it easier to lie than it is to tell the truth? So, my answer on this subject is simply this. Why is it easier to lie? Because it is easier to accept somebody else's falsified opinion of you than it is for you to accept the real negative failure in your own life. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. Yeah, that is a very, very deep.
I mean, who ultimately at the end of every day, bud, who ultimately knows you best? Is it you, or is it somebody that you spent X amount of years with?
You think you think they do, but honestly, it's you,
Right.
and you don't want to accept that.
Exactly. You don't want to accept it because it's like, oh, this person was my forever. Oh, this person was my soulmate. Oh, I cannot live without this person. But look, man, it is really so very simple. It's either going to work or it's not. Either your partner is going to love you and accept you for who you are, or they aren't. Either you are going to love them and accept them for who they are, or you aren't. You are both just as subjective to failure as the other one who commits the flaw.
Right.
I mean, I really don't, because all of this stuff sounds so simple, but we both know, and anybody else who's ever been in a relationship knows it's not as simple as what we're putting it.
Oh no, it's not. It's not simple at all. I mean, it takes a lot. It's quite difficult. It's really difficult, and sometimes we've been so accustomed to taking the easy route, the easy way out, the easy route, that we don't want to put the work in.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just like this might this might step on some toes a little bit here too, but I think it needs to be said. It's like diet programs, or all these equipment and stuff. Oh, or these weight loss pills and stuff. They want you to make you think that you buy these pills, and then once you buy these pills, it'll help you lose weight. But you still got, end of the day, you still got to put the work in. You still got to go and work out. You still got to go and watch what you eat. You still got to do all this other stuff in order to lose the weight. And you still got to put the work in.
Yeah.
It's a problem. That's a problem. People don't want to put the work in. And that's with anything. That's with your lifestyle. That's what's trying to change. That's what's trying to, get over addictions or get over something this or that, or you still got to put the work in. And it ultimately starts with you, putting that work in. That's what's going on. Society has got to a point where we're too lazy to put the work in, or we feel like we can't do it, or we just don't want to do it because we get so comfortable with it's okay, this whatever. I'm just so.
Well, I'll tell you what. Once again, completely right. But I'm gonna sign off first tonight. I'm really tired. I got a little bit of a headache, bro. So I'm gonna catch a few Z's. So I'm sorry to leave you hanging in the middle of such a great podcast, but I'm gonna sit here and simply say this: if you can't forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made, do not expect anybody else to forgive you for the mistakes that you have made.
Right. That's so true.
Your thought, brother.
You know, my closing thought tonight is that we need to really remember the fact that it's us being honest with ourselves. Once you get over it and get over that and understand that you have to be honest with yourself, and really like truly put the work in to be honest with yourself, and not listen to the lies of other people that try to define who you are. When you know who you are, that's when you get better. And also too, there's nothing wrong with having a person by your side that you can always count on, and that you can always vent to, that you always can let loose to, because you know they will understand. And you know, I found that tonight.
Yep.
And I really appreciate you, Professor X. Really do.
Got you, bro. Long as I'm breathing, to infinity and beyond, I'll be your Buzz Lightyear.
There's a snake in my boot.
Damn right, Woody. Damn right, Woody. Good night, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
Brother.